Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday, the 10th day of January 2025. I hope you're safe and healthy. Happy Friday. I hope your family's safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are trying their best to save lives. Blessings upon those that pick up garbage to keep our streets and sidewalks in cities and towns clean. And those also that make deliveries like FedEx, UPS, US Mail for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are trying to help rescue and recover the teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. Those trying to help people that are victims of prostitution and victims of child prostitution, victims of pornography, and victims of child pornography. Those trying to help people that are victims of human trafficking and sex slavery. Double curses on all the persons that are involved with these things. Double curses on all the persons that profit from these things, and double curses on all the perverts that create the tremendous demand to have these industries exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, and veterans homeless in the United States of America. And millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There's scheduled to be a basketball game tonight. The New York Knicks are taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder for the second time in 8 days. It was a week ago that the Knicks lost in Oklahoma City to the Thunder. Now, before I get started, let me remember, because I forgot many times, please, on a daily basis, if you can remember, vote for your New York Knicks to be in the All-Star game. I keep forgetting because I'm more concerned myself, and I think people still not getting that because of all of the noise out here. But I'm more concerned with the Knicks winning this championship. I do want to see Jalen Brunson, especially and Gato, be in the All-Star game. I do, and I vote for them almost every day, pretty much. You know, I go to NBA.com and vote every day. But my concern focus is on supporting the Knicks as a championship contender. And many people don't understand that. Like when I say, for example, and today, I put a quote from Josh Hart in the description box about the Menace Police. And he said every year it's the same thing people say, and they start tripping about minutes. I couldn't have said it better myself. It's almost as if I said it before. And then secondly, it's a hit on Thibodeau, because people who think they know what the hell they talking about and don't are always trying to criticize how Thibodeau runs his rotations or suggest how he might better do it when they don't know what they're talking about or what they're doing, nor do they acknowledge these two facts. Which is why I have very little patience, and some of you have experienced that wrath, very little patience for people that come on my channel talking about Thibs. And I get every day somebody's offended because of how I've been. I'm going to be hard. Yes, I'm going to hit you hard when I've already told you, don't do it. This ain't the channel. Okay, it ain't the one. So that's what that is. But tonight, I'm a little concerned with these two areas. Yesterday, I saw the report that Deuce McBride is listed as questionable for today, which generally means he's going to go out and warm up today. That's Gato is also listed as questionable. They're going to warm up. And if he feels right, he'll play. If he doesn't feel right in the warm up, he'll sit. It's up to him. And you can't really rush a hamstring. You know, you can't force yourself to play. If it was playoff time, I'm 100% sure Deuce would wrap that mess up and play, but it's not. So he has to be careful so that he doesn't do long-term damage for the rest of the season. I understand that. But it is frustrating because we'd like to see a full contingent of, and I'm yesterday stated I was 95% sure he would play tonight. I was less confident when I read that report that him and Gato are both listed as questionable. I was hoping they'd be listed as probable. If I see they're listed as probable, I'm feeling good because now I know they're going to play. Of course, the better thing is not even be on the injury report, but they are. And so they're both listed as questionable. Gato is listed day to day. They're keeping the out sign on Deuce with the questionable underneath. Hamstring is questionable Friday against the Thunder. Towns' day-to-day knee has been questionable. So Towns has tendonitis in his knee, which means his knee can stiffen up when he's cold, when he's cold. And it's now wintertime, see? So his knee can stiffen up. He has to warm it up. He has to loosen it, and get it ready to go. It's not like a surgical thing. The only thing that can help a tendonitis situation is rest, recovery, and exercises built for that ailment. So he has to play through it, and he can. That's no problem. And he'll probably get more treatment. He's probably getting regular treatment. And during the All-Star break, he'll get more treatment. Of course, we're hoping he's going to be in the All-Star game, but not play a whole lot of minutes. And so in fact, looking at the All-Star game, Jalen Brunson is in the top 4 of guards in the East. Generally, the top 2 are the starters, but the top 4 get picked on the team anyway. See, so you got your top 2, and I can't understand why LaMelo Ball is number 1, except teeny boppers with posters and whatnot, but not as far as basketball. Boy, hardly play. But anyway, looks like Brunson is 4th, and he'll probably get picked for the team. Gato is 3rd, and he'll probably get picked for the team. But we need y'all to keep voting to make sure that's the case. I just go in and I just vote all 5 New York Knicks starters. That's my vote. All 5 New York Knicks starters. I don't even bother with trying to analyze that. The West, I analyze a little bit because it's not my team, but I just vote for my 5 starters, New York Knicks. Go from there. Because we got that kind of team. So, yeah, I was a little concerned when I see Deuce still as questionable today. Like I said, it looks like he's going to warm up. Now, I don't know what I would like to know, but I don't think I'm going to know. I wanted to know if he practiced yesterday. Because sometimes if a guy is hurt and he practices, Thibs will say, we want to see how he responds the next day, because if his hamstring is sore today, he won't play. If he practiced yesterday and his hamstring feels good today, he's going to play. But I don't know if he practiced yesterday or not. I don't know what's going on. I know they're all receiving treatment. I don't know what the response is. So I'm a little concerned about that, because I'd like to see the full contingent of Precious, Deuce, Shamet, and Payne coming off our bench tonight against the Thunder. And of course, the starting 5. I'm very sure, unless Gato has a bad setback, he's going to play tonight. And we know the other 4 starters are going to play. They're not even on the report, so they'll play. But I don't know about Deuce. That's the only question. And I'd like to see, and I don't want to see him play if he's still hurt. I want to see him play if he's ready to go full tilt. Okay, and I'd like to see that. So we'll see how that is tonight. If Deuce doesn't play, I'm still very confident in Payne and Shamet and Precious. We could still beat Oklahoma City, in other words. But it'd be I feel a lot better if Deuce McBride was out there. So we'll see how that goes. And it looks like last night, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like Oklahoma City, this is a second night of a back-to-back for them. Let me just make sure that I'm telling you the truth. I'm pretty sure this is the second night of a back-to-back for OKC. Let's take a look. No, they played the 8th. They played Wednesday. So it's not the second night of a back-to-back. It's just the second night of a 4-game road trip. So they were in Cleveland on Wednesday. They lost 129-122. That snapped their 15-game winning streak. They're in New York tonight. They're in Washington on Sunday, and they're in Philly on Tuesday of next week. So this is just a 4-game road trip. 5-game road trip with 1 interruption where they get Cleveland on TNT next Thursday. So they're 4 out of 5 games on the road, and this is the second game of that trip. So welcome to the Knicks world. So we've been doing that. So now it's their turn. See, every team gets their turn to go through the schedule, 82 grind hell, every team. And so it's the Knicks' turn. So anyway, The Knicks, as I mentioned yesterday, they could play with Oklahoma City. The Knicks can play with anybody. They really can. They can, so that, in the league in general, as I always say, on any given night, any team can beat any team. Okay? That's why people still looking at these games say, well, this should be an easy win. You're thinking like a college fan. This ain't college. This is the league. And so on any given night in an 82-game grind, energy levels, injuries, all that plays a role. And on any given night, a pro player, let's take a LaMelo Ball, what we talking about. On a given night, he is of the talent level, he can go off and get 60 or 50 on you and change the whole game, okay? On any given night, a bench player that you just, because they're a bench player, and some people try to, be negative because they list role players as if they're not as good. Silly, because they're in the league, okay? On any given night, a dude can go off. Like I'm watching last night and watching RJ and them lose to Cleveland. They had the lead going into the fourth quarter. And Chris Boucher, who's like 30-something years old, coming off their bench, he had 30-something last night. Okay, in any given night, somebody could go off. It's just the way it is in the league. So anybody could beat anybody. Now, when you're playing a 7-game series, the best team wins. That's how. And it doesn't matter. Like the Knicks lost a series a couple of years, last year, because they only had 6 guys. Well, that's okay. The other team was better, even if it's because the Knicks had 6 guys. The other team was better. That's just how it is. Okay. On any given night, though, anything could happen. So we want revenge tonight against Oklahoma City. We want to beat them. We had David Hines into the fourth quarter a week ago, and we lost the game closing it out. Bad execution at the end. One thing I am very confident in, Jalen Brunson remembers that. Not just Jalen Brunson. All the guys remember that. And they're going to be determined to not let that happen tonight. So we're going to see how this goes. It's going to be a game. Now, I'm not going to see it live, but for sure, I'm going to be watching the replay tomorrow night. And then Sunday, the Knicks play the Bucks on Sunday. So at 3 o'clock, it's kind of an early game. They play Thunder tonight, and then Sunday they play the Bucks. The Knicks actually got a pretty challenging schedule because they play OKC tonight. They play Milwaukee, who's up and coming, on Sunday. Then they play Detroit. That's part of a back-to-back. They play Detroit Monday. Detroit has been balling. Detroit is 19-19. As I said in the beginning of the season, I've been watching them for a few years, and I felt like this is the year they're going to try to get that 500 mark after being in the bottom of the league, because they got now the right veterans around Cade Cunningham, Cade, and some other youngins unfortunately, Jaden Ivory's out for the season, but other youngins have been coming along. They got Thompson in there. Amen. Thompson, they got some nice squad. Duran, they got a nice squad. And so this is the year they make that next step to try to get to 500. That's part of their development process. And so you can't sleep on them. Last night they went toe-to-toe with Golden State. They went toe-to-toe with Golden State and lost again 104-107 at the end. And they almost pulled it out. They were down most of the game. I turned the game off because I was like, oh, this game's over. Then they came back. So you can't sleep on Detroit. The Knicks got a back-to-back on Sunday and Monday. Milwaukee on Sunday, and then followed by Detroit on Monday. And that's not going to be easy. Then they go to Philly, and then we got Minnesota again, who's going to be looking for revenge. And then you got Atlanta, who have beaten us twice already. So this is going to be an interesting week starting tonight. Like I said, that's why I'm saying, as much as I want Deuce to play tonight, if he's not ready, I'd rather him. I thought he'd be ready by now. I'm hoping he is. But if he's not, sit, get 100% on that hammy, and be ready, because this is a rough week we got coming up right here. Even though we got a lot of home games, which is our advantage. Don't take it lightly. It's good that they're home because they don't have to live out of a suitcase. They can get treatment right there. They're right. Everything they need is at the facilities right here in New York. That's the advantage. But don't sleep on it. This ain't no joke. Okay? So starting tonight against Oklahoma City, they just beat Toronto, we know Wednesday. And so now you got OKC. Like I said, I believe as good as Hartenstein is, and we know They went 15 straight when he got in starting lineup. That's no accident. Okay, no accident. Hartenstein is that type of glue guy that will help you win basketball games. He cannot guard Gato. He can't. Okay, so if we get Gato involved, if Gato's playing and we get him involved, and don't let him be hitting his threes. Last time he wasn't. If he's nailing them threes, Hartenstein gonna have a long night. Okay, if he's not, it's gonna be competitive. Well, Oklahoma State's good, and you still got the MVP candidate, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, so it's gonna be good. You got Jalen Williams, J Dub is still J Dub. They some bad boys now, but we're the New York Knicks. You all enjoy Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Please be safe out there. A lot of craziness going on. Enjoy the game. If they win, fantastic. If they lose, remember this. It's not the end of the world, and it's not for you to start blaming Thibs or anybody else for the loss. It's just a loss. We keep going. Y'all enjoy your weekend. Shalom.